Yeah.
Hey guys, welcome back to season 2 of The Pointless Void, a writer's room podcast where 3 friends get together with a dumb idea and try to turn it into a movie idea. Today we have a new guest, Carter. He's filling in for Cam, maybe forever. We don't know if Cam will have enough time to continue to do the podcast, so
Freaking school.
welcome, Carter.
It's great to be here. Thank you.
Yes, it is good to have you. So since it's your first time on the podcast, we'll show you the initiatory video. And let's begin with that.
Yo.
So what did you think about the video?
I love the video, actually.
Thought it was very uplifting.
Very uplifting. You see, I've never seen anyone touch their toes that fast.
I
With
know.
their head.
It's kind of amazing.
You see, the video says breaks knees. I was expecting him to go the other way. No, just
His femur. Yeah, that's... Yeah. So that's that.
Compression fracture.
See, I'm not a doctor. No, I have no idea.
I mean,
No, just kidding.
It's like, yeah, when your bones like go into each other.
compressed.
Oh.
Yeah. So some business. We now have a Patreon. So that's where you can donate money to us. Totally not an obligation. If you just want to listen to this podcast free, that's amazing. I really appreciate you watching for free. However, if you do have some extra money and you'd like to go onto our Patreon, you can get our podcasts ad free. So that's what you get for what you pay, and you just get to kind of help us out. So if you go onto Patreon and type The Pointless Void, you should be able to find us. And you can, for $1, you can help us out and make it so we can continue to make this podcast.
Nice.
And then also we're on YouTube. This is our second video episode. So go on to YouTube and check us out there. You ready to hop into this movie?
can
I haven't told
stare
you
at
what
our
we're going
ugly
to
mugs.
write about, what
I was
the
gonna
idea
say,
is.
I have no idea what's going on.
I have no idea what the idea is. So.
Okay.
So I had this idea. I was watching. So there's this.
Hold up. Oh, Carter, do you understand the premise of this podcast?
He does.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're writing movies,
I'd
yeah.
like a 2-minute review.
Cool. That's enough. I just wanted to make sure that you weren't totally lost. But
Yeah.
No, we got this.
So there's this Chinese animation film by the name of White Snake, and I watched it over Christmas break. It was really enjoyable. And then I was on Netflix and I saw that there was this other movie called Green Snake, which was a continuation of White Snake. But when I started watching Green Snake, it was not at all like White Snake at all. And it went from this movie about this girl that was a demon who lost her memories into this weird Mad Max movie. So I just had this idea. I want to make apocalypse movie, but then I also wanted to add on to it, the movie has to make us cry.
oh,
So an apocalypse, end of the world, Mad Max zombie style movie, but super emotional. That's the prompt.
Does the title have to be a color snake? Like the
No,
rest of the two?
I'm just telling you how I got the idea.
Oh, okay.
Is from this movie White Snake.
Gotcha.
I honestly don't know even why I added that to the story, but that's just where I got the idea. It was just so funny
I
to me.
appreciate the background.
Yeah, because this movie
Yeah,
White
helps.
Snake was fantastic. It's honestly one of the best animated movies I've seen. I'd recommend it. And then Green Snake was also good, but not at all the same. It was how is this part of the same franchise? So, how are we going to make people cry? I mean, the video game Walking Dead, people cry during that. Not the characters, but people that are doing the game. It's very emotional. So it's not out of the realm.
Well, I mean, I about cried during I Am Legend.
I did
was a
too
good
when
one.
the dog died.
So, yeah,
There's no dog in the book. I actually read the book, way different than the movie.
yeah.
The movie's great. The book is also great, but they're totally different.
Yeah.
It's like Green Snake and White Snake, but
Yep, just
for
like
a
that.
book and movie. No, just like
So who's our main character? I wanted her to be a woman. I don't know why. You can have multiple main characters.
Do we want to do a friend group?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of how movies like that are, because people die. Dude, everyone dies in our movies. Carter does not know this, but the last movie we made, I think over 50 women specifically died in brutal ways. Some of the
that
women,
many?
actually,
Wow.
no, it wasn't just women. It was little girls as well.
Yeah.
that's an insane movie.
Yeah, you should go listen to or watch that.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's my homework for tonight.
And then we didn't kill anyone in the Turkey Bowl cast, but we did kill a few people in the community college of nightmares.
We didn't kill anybody.
We just brainwashed them completely to not be who they were, which is arguably worse.
So kind of an interesting thing. I've started listening to the Assassin's Apprentice series. And something very similar happens in that book to people as our movie, like where they just totally get brainwashed and they go back to basically just their natural instincts.
When did that come out?
The book, I don't know how long it's been. I'll look it up. Because the Assassin's Apprentice is old, and I've never read them. I've never listened to them before. And so it was really weird. Like, I just barely made that connection. So,
do they have those in a movie, or is it just book?
I just think I have no idea. All I know is
I don't know,
book.
because it's ours now. We claimed it when we wrote it.
Speaking of great apocalypse movies, have you guys seen the Netflix one, I Am Mother?
No, I haven't. What's that one?
So it's about this, post-apocalypse
It was
world.
published in 95.
Oh, it's not too far back.
So
It's older than me. Older than all of us.
26, almost 27 years now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways,
yeah. So yeah, it's about this post-apocalyptic world, and this robot is trying to create this new, like this new breed. And so she has certain samples, and the whole movie is this one girl finding out that she's, kind of used as a laboratory experiment, and that she's one of the few remaining people on Earth, and that the mother, this robot, is actually the one who destroyed the Earth and was trying to rebuild it through this one girl. And there's been multiple failed attempts. At the movie, it's like them growing up, but it turns out there were other girls that failed, and then, kind of like your guys' theme, she killed them. And so that's that movie. It's a Netflix one.
Yeah, I'd like to watch that one.
Interesting.
Seems interesting.
I'm pretty sure it's called I Am Mother. If I am wrong, we'll find out.
Yeah. So what's a way that we can make people cry or feel emotional without just killing people? I mean, because that's obviously a very easy way. You get someone attached and then you have them killed off by zombies or whatever. So what are other ways to make people cry?
Could they be tears of joy?
They could be tears of joy. We just want people to cry. That's the prompt.
Yeah.
That's the prompt.
Yeah.
Tearjerker. That kind of sounds like a horror movie. Tearjerker.
It does kind of. Yeah. I Am Mother. Okay, yeah, that's the one. Mm-hmm.
Cool. Yeah, it's on Netflix.
So what kind of an apocalypse do we want? Do we want this to be the rapture? Do we want this to be zombies? Do we want this to be nuclear war? What are we thinking? I think it should be no. This is what it is. No, super preachy. So it's the rapture, but everybody that Christians think we're going to be raptured are the only people that stay. So like super like Christian people are
like
the only
South
people
Park?
left. So it's like Christians in Mad Max.
Like that one South Park scene
I'm not
when
familiar
they're all
with
in
that.
hell and they're like they're going through. It's like I'm Christian, I'm Catholic, I'm Jewish, and we're all in hell. So who made it to heaven?
It's like
The Mormons. Yes, the Mormons was correct.
the moment was the correct answer. Yeah. What's funny about that is the founders of South Park are ex-Mormon. Yeah. So I'm sure that was a little slide to them. That's funny. No, but I don't know why I thought that would be funny. Just like a bunch of like Christian moms just in Mad Max.
That'd be sweet.
I kind of like that actually.
Now, are there other people alive? Like, is it just this group, or like, what are they going up against? What's the antagonist?
The antagonist is just life is hard.
Just life is hard.
People have to
Okay.
survive, right?
Yeah.
That's the antagonist. Is that the world sucks now? There's no God left. It's like the Christians were wrong. They were the exact opposite. You had to act like a terrible person to get into heaven.
Or this is the final test.
The final test. Yeah.
It's the final countdown.
Boop, boop.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think.
I know.
Now what? So the world is normal, and then we have to have an event happen that makes our characters that changes the world to now they're in the apocalypse. Apocalypse. How do you say it?
How would you show the rapture even happening?
Flashbacks.
Do you do flashbacks? So they kind of starts off already in the like apocalypse world.
Yeah, I mean, we can do that. I just feel like that's cliche.
Oh, it's so cliche. But,
Yeah.
but it's a really good way to do it.
Yeah, because it's easy writing.
That's true.
Yeah. Which,
It's-
I mean, we
it's
act like
easier
we're the super good writers. What we're not.
It's easier.
You may be our Carter, but
It's easier to tell the story faster by doing flashbacks. I
okay.
think
So
that's
if we
why.
want to do a flashback, our character.
So are they experiencing the flashback right at the beginning, or is it something that kind of gradually grows? So like they go through certain things, and then you'll kind of get a flashback to a point during that, and you receive more and more answers as it goes.
both.
Sweet.
I say we should
We
start.
kind of
out.
show like the basics, and then they can kind of get more details along the way. Maybe they can see something, and that brings back not PTSD, but they're gonna go back to that memory.
Yeah.
where
Or
that
they go
affected it.
back to their completely wrecked home.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And then it shows them as a child
entering the
being
door and
raised with the Bible and
yeah, they
Yeah.
walk. They walk in the door. They walk in the door, and all of a sudden, it's no longer this post-apocalyptic world. It's what it used to be, type of a thing.
yeah. I mean,
Or we start on like this crazy fight scene.
yeah. I feel like that's a somewhat common trope in Mad Max type movies. Like the people to entertain themselves have created to the death fight rings.
Yeah,
So
And that's
Christian
kinda
moms
fun.
in a death fight ring.
Christian moms at a death
They
fight
have
ring.
their
That's the name of this episode. Christian moms at a death fight ring. For sure. Yeah. And the name of the movie, Christian moms at a
death
Death
fight
fight
ring.
scene.
yeah. So our character is like the best. She's been surviving, or I don't know. That was just a
Piss off, ghost.
It's a total Karen. The main person has to be Karen.
It's the apocalypse, but with Karens and Christian moms.
You see, when Stan Lee wrote Iron Man, it was a challenge to make someone that you shouldn't like that they do like. And so he created Iron Man. We're going to do the same thing. It's going to be Karen. We're going to make people like Karen. We're going to bring Karen back.
We're bringing Karen back, dude.
That's
Karen
the
needs to
title
come
of the
back because
episode.
let me tell you
Karen
this:
back.
my grandmother's name is Karen, always has been, and she's the sweetest lady I've ever met in my entire life.
nicest people are Karen.
That's actually so funny
Her
because
name's
my
Karen.
grandmother is Karen as well. And she's a Diet Coke drinker and she matches all the things. And I remember I was driving the car with her and she goes, people keep calling me Karen. He goes, I now need to say I'm Mrs. Fife. I can't use my first name anymore. You see, we got to save those people. Not all Karens are bad.
Yeah, but my grandmother, sweetest lady, her name's Karen. I mean, I only call her grandmother or grandma, but no one actually. I don't know anyone who calls her Karen because everyone I know calls her mom, like her kids, and they call her grandma. Like even my grandpa calls her mom.
yeah.
So, but yeah, her name's Karen. Interesting story. So, apocalypse full of Karens.
Yep. Main characters.
Are Karens notoriously Christian or they're conservative,
They're
right?
conservative.
They're conservative. So Christian. I mean,
Yeah.
conservative people don't have to be Christian, but it's the stereotype.
Yeah,
Yeah. We'll bank off the stereotype for this one.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
naturally. That's all you do. That's all we do. Either we go for the stereotype or absolutely against the stereotype. Like we don't really have an in between.
It's true.
It's true. Because we try to make these crazy movies that are kind of dumb.
So ridiculous.
Well, the best part about having a group of Karens is all of them are going to try to be in charge.
That is totally true.
And so it would also have this internal struggle and battle
the
between
drama, the internal drama
them of who becomes the leader.
Yeah.
And then,
It'll be like the
at
real,
the end,
the real Christian housewives.
Yeah, it's very similar to Lord of the Flies, like Jack and what's the name of the other
I've actually
character?
never read that book.
Dude, I love that book. That's a great book.
I've heard it's really good.
I've heard it's great.
Neither of you have read it?
No.
Oh, so I guess I'll have to explain it a little bit. So this airplane crashes, and all these boys went to the same school, and that they were like flying back to school after Christmas or whatever. That's how they were all in the same place. And they're boys of all ages. Like there's 8-year-olds up to 13-year-olds. And I'm trying to think of the main character's name. So there's 4 main characters. One of I think his name is Ryan, but I think it's not Ryan. But I'm just gonna call him Ryan because I can't remember. So there's Ryan, there's Jack, there's Simon, and then there's this character named Piggy.
Piggy?
His name, they call him Piggy because he's fat.
Okay.
And they make fun of him. Poor kid for sure. Piggy, he doesn't have the greatest time.
Doesn't he actually end up dying?
He doesn't. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
I was going to say, I've actually heard that one part. That is the one part I was told about the Lord of the Flies.
Yeah. So this character, his name isn't Ryan, but that's what I'm calling him. He's actually a pretty good leader. And then this other kid, Jack, is also, he's kind of a good leader, but he's also kind of a toxic leader. And so they both are kind of fighting over who is in charge the whole movie. Piggy is actually the one who probably should be in charge, but he's kind of not bold enough. So he kind of just vicariously like tells Ryan stuff, and Ryan is the leader. And then what ends up happening is the kids end up following Jack because he is going and killing pigs so they can eat them, but they're not being responsible. They're killing way more than they need. It's going bad. And they end up dropping a rock on the head of Piggy and killing him because he's trying to get them, like he's trying to reason with them. And they try to burn down the entire island to try to catch Ryan. His name isn't Ryan. They try to catch him. And that's like the end of the book. There's so much in the book. I barely said anything in it, but it's a conflict of who's in charge. And that's Karen. That could be our Karens. But the thing about the Karens is none of them are the good leader. So in Lord of the Flies, Ryan's the good leader, Jack's the bad leader, but all of them are toxic leaders.
They're just terrible.
That's why they're
just
still
complete. Yeah. That's why there's That's the thing is they thought they were doing good Christian values, but no. Yeah. We all know they're not. They're bad. We hate them.
Is that how we make people cry? Is we turn Karens into good people?
We turn Karens into accepting people.
And so at the end of this, do we have it where like their goal or what they accomplish is they actually get taken back at,
they get to be raptured.
They get to be raptured. Or they just rebuild the world. And it's kind of like a spiteful.
I think they should just rebuild the world.
Yeah.
They kind of be a little more spiteful. They're like, well, you just left us here, but now look at this place. Like this place is sweet.
This place is better than where we would have gone. Yeah. So how are we going to make that happen?
How are we going to make that happen and have it be a tearjerker?
Yeah. So we have to, the character, they have to be very hateable. Yeah. Because once they're super hateable, then when they change, that's tears of joy. Right. Mm-hmm. So how are we going to make them terrible and hateable? Obviously, they're doing death fighting rings. Christian moms and death fighting rings.
Stereotypical Karens.
Yeah, but how can they can't go talk to the manager. They can't go because the managers got raptured.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
They can't. I mean, is racism stereotypical Karen?
No, I don't think racism.
I think some people associate it.
Do some?
It's not necessarily racism, more as like
prideful
prejudice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Kind of classism.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't find any joy in watching Karen videos, so I'm not really versed in what a Karen really is.
I find them really funny until I get tired of contention, and then which doesn't take very long.
That's true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just hate people yelling at other people for no reason.
Yeah.
Right.
But it makes a good movie.
It does.
Drama movie. Very good drama. Okay, what's the name of our main Karen?
Karen.
Her real name is Karen?
Yes, her name is Karen. Our main character.
Our main character is Karen?
Main character is Karen.
So is this a world full of women?
I was going to say, or are there more people here?
Karens and Kyles and Kevins.
Karens and Kyles and Kevins. And Chads.
And Chads. The Chads would be hopeless. They probably died out. We can show a scene where like all the Chads just go
The Chads went extinct before the rapture. Yeah. Yeah, that's... Have you ever seen... So... I'm thinking of the Karen's walking around and she, like the rapture has happened, but she doesn't know. Like she keeps going around being her mean self, but I'm trying to explain this. Have you ever seen the movie Shaun of the Dead?
Don't think I have.
Okay. So in the movie Shaun of the Dead, a zombie apocalypse starts, and he's just walking around, and he has no idea. There's zombies all around him, but he's like looking at the ground. He like walks. He goes to the store, and he like rings a bell. He's like shouting for the manager. He's like, "Where are you?" And the guy doesn't come. He's like, "Okay, you're my friend. I'll pay you later." He walks back. A zombie comes up to him. He just thinks he's like a homeless guy and is like pushing him off. And he like so much of the movie is him not realizing he is in the zombie apocalypse right now as a survivor.
Oh. You could do that at the beginning of this. You know,
that's what I'm saying. Is the beginning is she's like just going around doing her errands, not realizing that the whole world is kind of desolate now. Like all that's left is people's clothing. Mm-hmm. Because I guess.
Or she could even walk on the street and accidentally run into another Karen, and they were like, "Excuse me," like, you know what I mean?
They're fighting with each other.
Fight with each other, and then they leave.
They're so involved with their fight, they don't see that there's like millions of people floating in the air, like going up to heaven. You know what I mean? So that's how the movie has to start: is her not realizing that she's just so involved in her little stupid gossip and fights, and
slowly there's less and less people around her.
Yeah, she could even try calling someone, and you know they're not answering because they're raptured. But then she calls like one of her Karen friends, and they answer. Like,
so then
you could realize that like
start bad talking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, start bad talking the woman because she didn't even answer her phone today when I called her. And we, yeah, that's just kind of how I want to start the movie. So she now knows that the rapture happened, or that there's no one around. She has to make her way somehow to the Karen utopia where all of them are congregating. How's that going to happen?
Where is the Karen utopia? L.A.?
No, LA's too good.
Yeah.
Freaking
LA's too good.
Well, everyone always bashes LA, and then I always defend it because I'm probably going to end up living there if I can get the career of my choice. So let's not bash LA because I kind of want to live there.
We could do the opposite.
Oops. Oh, I have to bleep that.
Oh.
No. We don't live in Ephraim. What are you talking about?
It's 2 bleeps, bro. Except we don't use bleeps. We just use cows mooing.
Yep.
We could do the opposite of California, Florida.
Oh, yeah. Florida sucks. Florida is where...
Florida's a good one because there's a lot of like Karens. And
there's a lot of variety because you also have old Karens as well. Yeah. You have old and young.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And because of the diversity in race, there's a lot of prejudice.
It's true.
Yes. So Florida, Miami. That's the only city I know in Florida. Orlando.
Fort Worth. That's Texas.
That is Texas.
Lauderdale. Fort Lauderdale. That's what I was thinking.
Perfect. That's where it is. She needs to find out about this somehow. What's like a common, like a toxic... Facebook? Yeah, Facebook. Yeah. I don't know why I didn't think of Facebook instantly. It's obviously Facebook. That's how she finds out about the Karen utopia.
Someone like posts a video and it's like of these 2 Karens in their death match. And then she starts looking it up and she's like, that's where everyone is. And then so she goes and visits.
So she makes her way over there.
Mm-hmm.
How does she get there?
Does she walk? Well,
she disappears. That's how the movie just... All right. Yeah, she's just there now.
That's fair.
Yeah. We just cut. That's just she gets there via cut.
Okay.
Yeah, there's just like a scene where she's like, I'm going to go there, and then boom. No,
yeah, I think she just gets there via cut because I don't want to... Yeah, no, that's not something that's that important. And it kind of is funny that she just...
Shows up.
Yeah.
It's somewhat funny.
Just there.
So the thing is about having a utopia is there has to be a leader because someone had to put this together.
Yeah.
But if they're constantly fighting over who's in charge, how did they ever pull this off? Is this a realistic place? Karen Utopia, is that realistic?
I don't know if it's something there's a specific leader for though.
Yeah. It could just be where everyone is, but like everyone's kind of just doing their own thing.
They have to be mooching off someone else.
That's
true.
I don't know. Maybe I'm being too mean to Karens, but that's just how I feel about that. It's like they think they like know everything, but they really don't.
That's true.
So that's kind of their stereotype.
But they are also very independent people.
Yeah.
I guess.
They'll do a lot of things. I mean, that's why they end up fighting with a lot of managers. They want it their way, and they're like not afraid to get it that way.
So I think the Karen utopia has to be kind of good at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
It has to be like actually nice.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because everything's the way that she wants it.
Exactly. But then things need to be getting worse in the fact that like the drama starts.
She
the
starts
drama
meeting more
starts. They
people,
start
and she
putting
does a lot.
people in the fighting rings.
Yeah. Yep.
It could be like at the beginning, it starts off good because everyone's, still in mourning. All their everyone's gone. They're raptured. Yeah. And then with time, they slowly start to have that power struggle. And then the leader's like, well, okay, we'll get this anger up by doing death matches. And then boom, you have a death ring. Yeah.
Yes.
It's like, did you serve a mission?
I did.
So it's like companions, right? The first like week or two is great.
Yes, this is actually very true.
And then, I mean, it's the same thing with a spouse or something too. Like the first little while is great. And then you start to spend every day, all day with them. And the little things start to bug the crap out of you. And so it'll be the same thing. Like for the first month or so, it's great. Until she realizes that the other Karens there or the other people there aren't quite doing things the way that she wants them. And so she starts to
and they
just
have to
get
be
really
super
frustrated.
petty too.
Yeah.
They'll be super petty. Okay. How are we going to make these people redeemable? I don't know how we're ever going to do it. And how are we going to make people cry as well?
There's got to be a moment where they realize how annoying they are.
Mm-hmm. But how is that going to happen? Someone has to show up that's different.
Could there be somehow a non-Karen that didn't get raptured?
Yeah. Yes.
Like a mistake, like this good guy comes in.
Yeah, the one man, yeah.
Like, oh, yeah. It could be a man, it could be a woman. Like this one person just like comes in. And there's like, the funny part about that is like, they were meant to be raptured, but it just...
This feels so sexist now that I said like the one good person in this movie is the one man bringing salvation to the women that were left on earth.
We'll bleep that out. No,
we won't bleep it out, but we got to change it.
White supremacy.
No, please. I'll bleep that out.
Yeah.
Shoot, because I do want it to be the guy because it's just the stereotype is a Karen is a woman.
Yeah. But there are definitely men.
So the opposite of that would be a good guy, but I don't want him to be the reason that they survive because that's just, that is sexist. It kind of is. So it just, I don't know. Who are we going to spare? And maybe it's a few people. I don't know. I don't think we're going to make people cry. I think we're going to fail.
It's like John the Beloved.
Yeah. He's the one that's still on the earth.
Yeah. Like John the Beloved or the Three Nephites or something like that where they chose to stay.
No. I mean, no. I mean, the title does have the word Christian in it, but we're not going Christian.
No,
but like someone like
that where they chose to stay on the earth. They didn't want to.
Is that possible to like, kind of play in with that? Like someone who is like being raptured, they're like,
I'd rather stay and help.
I'd rather stay. Then he gets sent back.
Or they
she
just
gets sent
fight
back.
it because they have no idea what's actually happening. And so they fight tooth and nail to stay.
That'd be good.
I don't know.
Sure. It's funny. I feel like it's funnier if it's a mistake for some reason. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's like if they don't realize what's happening and so they're fighting to stay. And then they are like look around afterwards and are like, why did I stay?
Or it's like, you know that movie, this is such a weird poll, but you know that movie Home with like the aliens?
Oh, yeah.
That animated film?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like Rihanna's character, she like has a cat on her head. And so when the aliens come to scan her, they scan a cat instead of a human, so they don't take her.
Kind
of like a thing like
that
that.
I'd be cool with that.
So like the angels come down and they sense a cat, not. We don't want to steal home, but something like that. They sense something that's not them.
Yeah.
so that they don't get taken up, even though they're actually the greatest person that's ever existed. They're like, dang, it's so hard because everyone's getting canceled now. I was going to say Mother Teresa, but everyone kind of hates on her now. Martin Luther King Jr., the best guy ever. He's like one of those.
Yeah.
He's like a Martin Luther King Jr. type, but he hasn't become famous. He's like that good of a guy.
Yeah.
Or she.
Mm-hmm.
I want it
That's
to be
true.
a guy just because we have so many women, but I don't want it to be sexist. Non-binary. That's who it is.
Not mine.
A non-binary.
Or we just make it so there's not just women in this world.
Yeah. Okay, fine. That's fair.
Throwing a couple dudes.
Just a bunch of Catholic priests and Karens or was there on the world. Honestly, probably a lot of Catholic. I feel like we already made fun of Catholic priests in another episode, so I'm going to do it again. A lot of Catholic priests probably won't be raptured.
Yeah, you're not wrong there.
They're probably gonna.
They're too busy being inside.
They're too busy.
Oh, gosh.
They're too busy.
Doing other things.
Too busy hooking up with little boys. I'm just gonna say. Yo, what? How is that? I feel like I said this already in an episode, but how?
I have no
There
idea.
is so. Obviously, there are so many good Catholic priests. I'm positive.
Yeah. No.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But how is there so many that are not?
Yeah. How is it
That have
such a
been
stereotype?
caught? How have there been? How is there like over 100 caught just in Philadelphia? You know what I mean? How many Catholic priests can there be in Philadelphia?
I wouldn't think too many.
But literally, not even joking, over 100 got convicted and sent to prison in Philadelphia.
Wow.
But that's got to be almost all of them. It's whatever. It's just so weird.
Yeah.
How did that happen? Because it's just like of course there's good cops, but
Yeah.
there's so many that suck and so many that make cops bad. Well, how did this happen? It's kind of a rant, but
I get that.
gotta wet my whistle. We've kind of been stuck on a single plot point for a minute, so we just gotta. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, this is just a basic idea, but I feel like this is the most important plot point. If we were to take this podcast and make it into an actual screenplay, this is the most important. Is who this person is who's going to help them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm just trying to figure out who this is and why they're such a good person. And what it was that kept them there. I mean, I guess you could say that the angels purposely left him there because they knew he could help.
I like the mistake.
I like the mistake too. I like the mistake.
That
What are
adds
the
a little more
chan-
comedy to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is probably our least funny episode so far.
I feel like we've been saying that quite a bit.
No,
The last
because
few
our
times.
because our
Last time
Monopoly
was fun.
episode was funny, even though we never were on track.
Well, yeah, that's why that
The
one was funny.
the
Last time we were just on track the whole
the
time.
episode that Megan Fox was Satan, that was pretty funny.
That one was really funny, and we were on track the whole time on that one.
Yeah, I'm just trying to add some more comedy. Okay, the mistake. It doesn't matter what the mistake is. If we turn this into a screenplay later, we'll figure out what the mistake
Yeah.
is. But he's there.
Mm-hmm.
He makes his way to Florida, where the Karens have been living for months. And they've been fighting. They've been what's another, like, what does the most evil people do other than rape, which is probably the worst thing you can do on this planet? What is like something that's like not murder, not rape, but like universally known as like super bad? Like, what are they doing?
I don't know. I was going to say cheating and lying. I don't know. Not to if you do it to an extreme degree. I mean, like, there's a difference between a white lie and like lying about something and getting someone thrown to, your prison or jail, whatever. But I'm just trying to think of what you could do.
Yeah. I'm kind of stumped.
Servitude,
What does that mean?
like servants,
Oh,
like owning servants.
well, like the class, they're creating a big
create their
a
own-
class system.
Yeah.
yeah,
and-
they start
and-
creating a class system and
the caste system. They have people, the untouchables, the ones that they put in the ring, and then the elites that really have no business being there because they didn't do anything different, but
Yeah.
they're there for some reason. So that's what he comes to Florida seeing. And what is he going to preach to them? Like, hey, no, your ways are wrong, because that's stupid. I'm not making that in our movie. But how is he going to help them?
Well, I think first off, if this dude randomly showed up in Karen, everyone would be like, who is this dude? He'd probably be brought to like the main person. You know what I mean? The queen of the Karens.
The queen of the Karens.
And there's just something that he could accidentally do there.
This is the title of this movie. Christian Moms in Fight Arenas. The Queen of the Karens or something.
The Queen of the Karens, Christian Moms and Fighting Rings.
I'll figure it out when I make So he's brought to the Queen of the Karens. Who's the Queen of the Karens? Who's a well-known Karen?
Or he brings it like he starts from the bottom, overthrows the throne. So he starts with the people who are fighting in the ring and gets them to work together to overthrow the empire.
Yeah. I just don't know how entertaining that will be. Would it be? I mean, at this point in the film, how many minutes do you think we're in? 30 minutes in the film at this point?
Probably.
30 minutes is enough time to establish all this. So
Pretty close, yeah.
So if this was a hour and a half movie, we still have another hour, so we could fill that with, I guess. But so expand on your idea. How do you think he's going to overthrow?
Well, because the Karens are typically like, when you think of it, it's more of the, fighting, contention. They want to be the one who's right and in charge. And that's how this was all established, right? Because it's just that desire to be the number one, the leader, and it was just like survival of the fittest type of thing. So this guy comes in and just makes it so he makes them realize that the best way to overthrow that and make it so that they have a decent life again is by working together and overcoming that pride to work towards a better common
So the
good.
Queen of the Karens, she had to have gotten her power through something. Either the fighting ring, that kind of seems boring, or she... so everyone's trying to overthrow her constantly. She overthrew the person before her. How? I'm speaking to myself when I'm saying this. I'm trying to figure out. I'm saying things and I forget, or not forget, but I'm trying to figure out how to finish my thought. You know something I realized? I said we weren't going to talk about the college we go to. I've been wearing a jacket of my college this whole time in the video. I just thought of that just now. Hey, video. That's funny.
We're so good at
I don't
this.
really care that people know where we go to school. I just thought, let's not dox ourselves, but whatever.
How long are we going to be here?
Not that much longer. By the time this podcast is legitimately popular, we won't be here anymore.
Yeah, that's kind of...
So,
That's true.
Unless it somehow blows up in the next 4 months.
it is possible.
It is.
Let's hope for it.
Next week, we're trending on YouTube.
We're manifesting. Yeah, somehow. Just this video somehow
Steven
trends.
Spielberg calls us and was like, hey, what was that idea
Dude,
you
that
guys had? You're like, come to LA.
I'd rather not.
Well, in that case, we wouldn't be here.
Yeah,
If it became popular in that much time, dude, I'm leaving school. What do I need this for?
That's facts.
That.
This is the dream, right? Yeah. Not the podcasting, but like just making movies. I don't know about you. Is that you said you were into?
No, so I want to go into screenwriting.
Yeah, see,
I'm going into.
We're very similar in that way.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to farm.
Freaking want to farm.
That sounds fun. That's the basic life. I like it.
I want to direct and write both. I like both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Those are my dreams. Also, I just love podcasting. This is honestly the funnest
Same.
part of my day.
Podcast.
This is pretty
a lot
fun.
of fun. I'd be down to podcast
For a living.
for a living.
Yeah. Stand-up
Do
comedy.
a farmer part.
And then
podcast.
I could farm on the side.
Farm on this side. Okay, tell me this. Okay. You were making $100,000 a month
I'd farm.
podcasting. You would still farm?
I'd still buy a farm.
So you genuinely love farming?
Yes.
Good for you. I mean, like, I'm glad you found something
Yeah.
you love.
Do what you love and you never work a day in your life.
What do you love about it?
I don't know where to start. I love pretty much everything about it. Like I like working. As strange as that sounds, I really do like physical labor. Farming, you get to drive tractors and stuff around. I think the biggest thing for me is the idea that you're a steward, that God's given us this land, and that it's my responsibility to take care of it properly. For me, that's one of the biggest things. And I love science. Like, I love the job that I have working in agronomy, which is the science side of farming and agriculture. I love that stuff. I nerd out about it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I'm glad you found something you love. Podcasting is the thing I love.
Yeah, I mean,
Let's hope I can make a
I
living.
love doing. I definitely enjoy doing this, but yeah, I'd still
Yeah.
have a farm. I'd pay people to work on the farm, but
For sure. Or you just carry this out with you on your tractor. You're in your tractor as you're podcasting.
Yeah, I now
Like,
have
just
a-
ignore the background noise.
this is a podcaster. It does almost all the things this does, but you can take it literally anywhere.
dude, that's fantastic.
So you could be out
That's
on
actually
the
pretty
you could be
sweet.
out on the farm podcasting as you farm.
Do you know what that makes me want to do?
What?
Go around campus.
Okay. The reason I bought this, I'm not going to give the idea on this podcast because I don't, but after we're done recording, I'm going to tell you my idea as why I bought this. It's very similar to what you're probably thinking.
Now I'm super intrigued.
Because I would be totally down.
Because I don't want to give the idea away because I think it's a good idea and I don't
Yeah.
want someone else to steal it, but
No, for sure, for sure.
I'll tell you after we turn
Yeah.
off the mics.
I
I'm pretty sure people kind of know basically just by what you said, but
yeah.
it's not exactly what you said, but it reminded me. Okay. Movie.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So where were we?
I'm gonna cry for not being able to make this work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where the tears come from. It's
Tears
from our
come from
side.
us. The tears come from us as in the writing room.
Yeah.
Can't make this work. It's a terrible idea.
I know. To be honest, this is the movie that I'm the most like, how are we going to end this? Because
I have no idea.
I feel like the other movies we wrote, we ended them pretty decently.
Yeah.
And I'm really struggling because I like what we have. I think it's funny. I think it's unique. I think it's cool.
I think it would be a fun
But I just
one
don't
to
know how we're
explore,
going to make it a satisfying ending.
But it's
yeah,
just really hard.
This is one that would take like legit amount of time and that we could not finish in an hour
yeah.
Yeah.
to come up with even the base structure.
Because we're already at 43.
Yeah.
So episode next week, finish it up. I don't know.
We'll put some thought into it this week and then we'll come back with
I mean, we can try. We can try. Karen is our main character. That's what we originally made her the main character, and now I feel like the good person is the main character. But
I feel like he's just like the mentor. He's like
Say-
the Dumbledore.
We could make there be like, it's an apocalypse. So like zombies or, there's something, some threat, something threatens their society.
I was
yeah,
gonna say,
and they
if you're
have
in
to band
Florida, could it
together.
be a
That-
tsunami?
that has to be what it is. Let's throw out this character of the good guy.
Yeah.
They have to come to it
They have-
themselves.
yeah.
Something
Yeah.
has to happen that brings them together. Something bad. It can't be just him teaching them because that's dumb.
Something like a tsunami or either a natural disaster or just some crazy, like,
God sends back all the managers that they've harassed.
in the form of like flying demon.
Yeah, as like demon angels, and they come back and the Karens have to fight against them.
Hey, why not? Let's go for it. I like the idea. All the managers. Yeah. I mean, I love the idea. I'm just let's build off this. Let's build off this. What's the Walmart? Who are Karen's mostly grocery store managers? Is that when are they mostly getting mad?
You see, I also feel like it could be like
in the targets.
I'm trying to think the word here. Electronic storage places.
Oh yeah.
I feel like they also,
Like
because they also have no idea what's going wrong with their phone, but they
Yeah.
kind of think they do, and then they go to the Apple store and they can kind of cause some havoc there.
Mm.
Yeah, any sort of like big box type store or like service providers.
Yes.
Any sort of like telephone or TV or
Yeah. They're all the ones that come back as demon spawn and try to eat them and successfully eat most of them.
demons show themselves as these people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they become.
Yeah. So it's not that the people are coming back as demon spawn. It's the demon spawn
Coming back as like managers.
taking on
see-
that form.
Oh.
Back to I Am Legend, the difference between the movie and the book and why I think the book is superior. In the movie, the zombie creatures, they're not really zombies, but like those fast, scary monster things, they are just pure destruction.
Yeah.
They don't have personality. They just kill you. In the book, they can talk. They look exactly like a human. And not only that, the main character actually knows them
Yeah.
personally. So like he's in his house is barred up, and like his friends are outside like, come out. Like, come join us. And like he'll like peek out and the women try to like seduce him. Like they're not ugly. They're like, and I feel that is way more creepy to me.
Yeah.
No, that's actually very true.
Yeah.
I like that.
So if these managers, these demons are taking the form of managers and being like managers. See, now I don't know how that's going to fit.
No, yeah, that's true. What you could maybe do is at the beginning of the movie, before the apocalypse ever happens, you see them harass certain managers.
Yeah,
You have
certain managers.
You see those certain ones, and then you see them come back fighting against those main characters. And now you won't see all of them, but you'll have a more personal one.
But there'll be a few that, so you know that the ones that are,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. Like you'll piece them together as that's who it was.
Okay. So we've set up where they are. We've set up why they're there. We've set up the conflict that's going to bring them together. So now, to finish off this movie, we need to now write them coming together and defeating the demons. What are we going to do? The queen, I don't think the Queen Karen is around anymore. I think we threw that away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's always like a sort of all is lost moment before they band together.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Where,
there has to be.
Maybe there could be like this first attack, or we could even go back with that natural disaster, There could be like something that happens before that ruins them. All is lost moment, but that's when they come together to go up against this next threat.
Yeah.
Which they succeed, and then but how do we do that?
Yes. I'm trying not to have dead air, but I'm thinking. Should we watch the guy breaking his knees again?
Do it one more time. No, just
Let's watch it one more time. Let's watch it one more time. Keep thinking. I'll pull it up.
I'm too tired to think right now.
Oh, I'm exhausted. No,
Oh, shoot. I accidentally closed the whole thing. We don't need to watch it, but got 10 more minutes of recording time. And at this point, what we have written so far is probably an hour of the film.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You have about your half hour with your final battle with climax and then the resolution.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we're pretty much at the final battle type thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we didn't explain what was the all or nothing moment, but we said it happened.
Some sort of natural disaster.
We would have to go into actual screenwriting to figure that out, but for the sake of this podcast, we'll just say
There was
they band together. They band together. like 12 of them. I mean, how many are we talking? More than that?
I don't know.
100?
A town of them. I don't know.
They have to. The way that they figure out to defeat these demon managers is to just be polite with them.
That's the final battle.
They just realize they just have to be polite, and then the
demons
they disappear.
Like, I'm sorry, sir. This actually wasn't an issue. Thank you for coming out. You run a great story.
Hey,
Your employees are
I
amazing.
really appreciate the fact that you took the time to come visit with me. And for explaining to me why it was this way. And then,
Thank you
and then
very
she gets
much.
raptured.
And then like
That's such a dumb thing.
That was the one
then
thing
all
that
of
she had to do. I know this movie now
so
sucks.
lame.
I hate this movie now.
It's
no,
like-
right when they say that, the demons start just like absorbing away, and that's how they die.
I kind of like it though. It's like so bad that it's kind of good.
yeah,
It's so bad that if we were to just change, like if we were to spend a little bit of time on this idea, we could make it work, and it would work really well.
Yeah, but I think it's so bad that it works.
Yeah.
The fact that all they had to do was just be nice to the manager, and that was the one thing holding them back from going to live with God.
Yeah,
Whoever God is.
and then just
whether
one
that
by
be,
one, you just kind of see them.
whether that be Buddha.
it's like in
I don't think
Kanto.
Buddha's really like
Yeah.
a god you go see, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whether that be whatever religion you believe in.
Mm-hmm.
I have a Buddha statue here. Do you like it?
That's very cool.
It's my lucky Buddha.
That's nice.
Do
Have you
rub
guys
his
ever
belly?
seen? It's like Napoleon
No.
Dynamite.
I don't rub it, but it just reminds me to be a good person because
Nice.
that's what Buddha taught.
Yeah,
You know
I
what I
like
mean?
that.
What about Napoleon Dynamite?
Oh, it's such a bad movie that it works.
Oh yeah,
That's exactly
Napoleon
yeah.
Dynamite, Hot Rod,
All those movies are
Benchwarmers, like
the
all of-
movies that are
all
so
of-
bad
All of my favorite movies are just so bad
that it works.
that they're so funny.
Yep.
Yeah,
There's like
I mean, I'm
zero
sure you can
plot
get
to the
you could get a
movie,
lot
but
of
it
you could
works.
get a lot of jokes out of a Karen fighting ring, and
Oh, yeah.
a lot of jokes out of the whole reason they're here is because they were mean to a manager. That's I think that's funny.
Yeah,
Like they could be pulled up to heaven and they're like, they could be almost annoyed. They're like, that was it.
That's literally the reason I've been
That's
down
why
here.
we've been down here the whole time.
that's why I went through this hell.
That's why I've been eating other women's flesh for 3 months. Is because
Because I
was
forgot to say I'm sorry. No,
I wasn't punished for eating other women's flesh and killing them in a ring, but I was punished for being mean to the manager.
and he's like, now you understand.
Now you understand. Welcome, child. That's how it ends. Welcome, child.
Yeah.
Welcome,
I hate it. I hate it. I hate it, but I love it.
Could be like the end of the Spider-Man where he's like, what the? And then it just ends.
What Spider-Man movie was that?
At the end of all the Spider-Man Homecoming and Spider-Man Far From Home. The first and the second.
I saw
It always ends with-
I saw Homecoming. I didn't see Far From Home. I did see No Way Home.
That one was so good.
It was good. You know,
I thought
I
it could have
thought
been
that
better.
there were times that it's like, okay, it's like they're just trying to pander
They're
to
pushing.
fans of the other movies.
Oh,
you know what I
I see
mean?
what you mean. Yeah.
It's like I thought it was cool when Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man saved Mary Jane.
Yeah.
But I feel like they were just kind of making people. Actually, that was the one moment I did like. But I feel like there was a lot of moments that are just like, hey, remember this character?
Yeah.
He did that. Remember that? I feel like that was a lot of the movie.
Yeah, I feel like it could
No,
have been
that's
done
true.
a lot better. It was a good movie.
I enjoyed the movie a lot, actually. I mean, I love Spider-Man.
I liked it,
yeah.
but I think
There
it
was
could
some
have been
aspects
done
that they
better,
could have done. They could have switched. The problem was not the problem, but it was just a lot of
You have
fan.
to fit. Yeah, you have to fit all of this story into 2.5 hours.
Yeah,
Also-
also you're technically like the Spider-Mans aren't supposed to know what happened with the other Spider-Man, but even though us as the audience, we do already know
Yeah.
that. So they're trying to like, give it out there that
And what does that
Everyone
mean? What does that mean for the future of the MCU? Let's finish the podcast talking about this because I think we finished the movie.
Yeah, we're pretty good on that.
So, who does that include now? Do we now have to include Howard the freaking Duck? Do we now have to include that stupid Ghost Rider movie? Do we now have to include both Fantastic Four franchises? Like, now do we have to include? And here's one that would actually probably be an issue is if you tried to now include the X-Men. Now you have to include Deadpool, and Deadpool is a great movie, but he like breaks the fourth wall and he just doesn't fit in the Marvel
he
Cinematic
would not
Universe.
fit in the MCU.
So you can't just leave him out.
But I love Deadpool,
But it's Deadpool.
and he can go anywhere.
And so you could get him to fit in the MCU just because he can break the fourth, because he does break the fourth wall because of these other things that
That's
make
true.
him so obscure.
I just think that
You could make that work.
the current Marvel Cinematic Universe takes itself seriously.
Yeah.
That's
not-
true. Right now,
They're not making
serious.
jokes
Except
like
for,
Deadpool does.
Except for Guardians of the Galaxy.
Except for that's true. The Guardians of the Galaxy.
I would also throw in the Ant-Man.
I say the
Ant-Man.
original like Avengers.
I mean, they throw in jokes, but yeah, they take themselves seriously.
yeah. Except for
Unlike Deadpool.
Paul Rudd's just Paul Rudd, and he.
I was gonna say,
so
yeah.
he can Ant-Man like Paul Rudd can never actually take himself seriously in any
Yeah.
movie.
That's true.
Like that's just his character is.
Yeah. I don't even care. Like, I'm not even that big of a Marvel fan.
not
Like, I'm a casual, like, the movies are good.
Yeah.
But I just wonder, like, what are they going to do?
Yeah.
Because I feel like that Spider-Man movie opened up a big can of worms of who's included and who's not.
Well,
You see, I think
especially
they'll
when you
keep
go into like all the variants from Loki and stuff. Like
You see what I
Yeah,
think
there's
they'll
so much-
do.
there's so
Or like, you know how they
much.
didn't throw in Venom from Spider-Man 3
Oh, yeah.
so that they could put the Venom from the Venom movies at the end of the credits?
Yeah.
It's like they left him out specifically, even though he did know who Peter Parker was.
Yeah.
Like, he should have been there with the Sandman because the Sandman was there.
Yeah.
And I don't know why
You see,
Harry wasn't there, like the second Green Goblin.
that's true. You see, my thing that I was kind of thinking of was Norman Osborn knew that. I'm sorry, not Norman Osborn. Doc Ock knew that Norman Osborn was the Green Goblin, but in the movies, he did not know that he did not know that Norman Osborn was the Green Goblin. No one knew that Norman Osborn was the Green Goblin.
Was that how it was in the movie?
I'm
They didn't
pretty
find
sure.
out.
Yeah, because Spider-Man just put Norman's body back, and Harry Osborn never knew that.
That's true. Harry didn't even know he was the Green. That's true.
He did not know he was the
That
Green
was a we-
Goblin. And
but-
so that was the one part that I was like,
But Doc Ock, did he know who he was though?
He knew who Norman was,
and that's
but
that's
he
the thing.
saw the Green Goblin and said, "Norman."
well,
That's how it was in the
he
movie.
was one of his best scientists, so there's a
brought-
possibility that he
brought
helped
Norman-
with the.
But they brought the first time he saw Norman was before he came back as the Green Goblin.
It's possible that Doc Ock did know, because if he worked on a serum,
I was gonna
that
say-
did something to someone, and then all of a sudden now there's a person that's doing the things that the serum you built
Yeah.
with this guy did.
He would know.
You would assume that, and then when the Green Goblin dies, your friend Norman Osborn's also dead.
That is true. He would know what's going on.
Oh, I thought that was
SD card full.
Oh, well, I guess the last part won't have video for you guys, but
Yeah, well,
I thought that was a fire alarm. I'm like, what?
I know. I was also like, oh.
Oh, well, luckily we're at 58, so there won't be
Okay.
that much footage of you guys. I mean, we could end it now, but anything else we want to talk about just to fill up the hour?
I don't know. I feel like we could just dive into Marvel, and
Yeah.
even though I don't know like anything about the Marvel universe.
You see, I'm actually a big fan of the Marvel Universe. I know a lot of
Like-
random facts that I probably don't need to know.
It's fun. I mean, I like
No, yeah.
I like
I'm
being
a
part of these
casual
fictional
fan.
stories.
I'm a casual fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll watch 'em.
I've seen all the movies.
I've
I
seen
didn't
most of them.
I didn't see Captain Marvel.
I haven't seen Captain Marvel.
I
You don't
didn't
need to.
I didn't see Far From Home, and I didn't see.
I really like Brie Larson, but I've heard that Captain Marvel's
you don't want to
No,
ruin
yeah,
Brie
yeah.
Larson for
Yeah.
yourself.
and that's
Brie Larson is like his ideal woman, I guess.
Is Brie Larson?
Brie Larson from Community is like
Brie Larson plays.
Yo,
Captain
that's
Marvel.
actually facts.
because yeah,
Community is one of the little shout out. Community is one of the greatest TV shows
oh,
ever
it's
made.
fantastic.
Ever made.
We've talked about Community multiple episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah,
Because that's
we-
one of the best TV shows I've ever seen.
Yeah,
it's very good, very good.
I was going to quote it earlier, but
It went on a little too long.
yes,
Like when they graduated, it should have ended, but they did 2 more seasons.
Yeah.
to be fair,
I liked the 2 last seasons though. It was enjoyable.
I was going to say,
I
they
did
did
too.
good.
I did too. But to be fair, oh freak, I forgot. Dan Harmon didn't know from season to season if he was going to have another season.
Yeah.
After the 3rd season.
Yeah.
Well, he got fired for the 4th season. Did you know that?
Oh yeah, yeah. Because the 4th season's like the worst season.
And then he got hired back.
And he
for
got
the
hired
thing.
on back because it was so bad. And so you have the first 3 seasons are pretty
Solid.
solid because Dan Harmon wrote them. And then you have the 4th season that wasn't written by Dan Harmon.
And you could tell.
You could tell. And then the 5th and 6th season, all of a sudden, Dan Harmon's back trying to work it all together.
Although with all of that, with that 4-season blip, he did a good job. The fifth and sixth seasons are pretty good.
Yeah.
They're enjoyable.
I wish he could
Did
have found
it
a
need to
different
be
way.
made? No.
I wish he could have found a different way to involve them all
Yeah.
No, but yeah, I had a fun time watching
outside
it.
of
Community, the school.
the school and
Like I actually kind of like I genuinely liked like the woman. What was her name in the sixth season?
Oh,
The
my
one who was
goodness.
like in charge, like
Yeah.
the person trying to fix. Like I actually liked her as a character.
No, same.
I did too.
I thought their characters they brought in were pretty good. They did a good job of filling their role.
And the guy who came in the VR episode and then just stayed for some reason.
You're right.
What was that? He just stayed now. Now he's part of the crew.
Because they had Wi-Fi and the tech lady who actually was, I can't remember her name
I
now.
mean, he got a job or
Yeah.
I don't know. It was
Well, because what's funny is the tech lady, if you go back to the episode where Annie's trying to get the bulletin board up,
yeah.
they go to the tech lady
yeah.
to get this firewalls off of the plumbers or the custodians' computers.
Mm-hmm.
And it's that lady who comes back later as
Yeah, no, yeah. I remember that.
And so they're looking for a tech lady now that she's come in as something else.
Yeah.
And so that's why.
So he becomes the new IT
Yeah.
or the tech.
Yep.
Cool.
That's why he stays, because they happened to have the Wi-Fi go down while he was there.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, so we've made it to an hour. So that's the end of the episode. Once again, we have a Patreon. No obligation. Listen to this episode free as much as you want. It helps us out either way. But if you want to help us and you have the extra money, that would be helpful. $1 is the least amount, up to $20. So, yeah. YouTube, see us all there. And let's jump back into the void.